Good evening, everyone. First of all, I just want to wish you a happy new year. As you know, nowadays the information is everywhere: internet, libraries, bookstores, articles, and other sources. What I mean is, anybody can get it, read it, and use it in their own words. But it implies many things, and one of them is the concept called plagiarism that has popularized in recent years. Also, there is a lot of information related with this term. Even important organizations as governments, universities, and schools are using tools to avoid plagiarism, and at the same time they sanction the students if they have plagiarized something. That's why my classmates, Betty, Sarita, and me wanted to make this short documentary explaining this relevant topic because it is totally related with our lives as students and professional leaders in Zamorano. So, what is plagiarism? In accordance with Encyclopedia Britannica, plagiarism is the act of taking the writings of another person and passing them off as one's own. It means that if somebody do this, is violating the other copyrights. The same encyclopedia claims that if thoughts are duplicated but they are written in different words, then there is not plagiarism and anyone can use this information without being sanctioned by laws. Also, we have to think about the ethical part, and it refers to take something that isn't ours. In fact, it is considered as stealing as any other act. But the good news is we can perfectly avoid plagiarism and do our homework. But how it is possible? Well, there is a magical word called paraphrasing, which means to say or to write any text or comment using our own words without changing the sense of this information. Currently, this is the most form used by students across the world to avoid plagiarism. Paraphrasing is possible thanks to many techniques, so this is important because there isn't just one way to avoid it. The first technique is change from a clause to a phrase. Here is one example of this. In the sentence, before I get up, I dream, in other words, it is changed to before getting up, I dream, in other words. As you can see, it is very simple and really successful. The second technique is change from a quoted speech to indirect speech. In the sentence, Miss Gracia said to their students, I'm going to pause your Facebook work. So if I change this, the sentence is Miss Gracia said to their students she was going to post their Facebook homework. This is very useful when we're reading, for example, important phrases from others and we want to explain more without using the same words. Thank you.
Synonymized plagiarism. Synonymized plagiarism is a new form of taking words or ideas from authors using advanced software that allows for content to be copied, not verbatim, but with synonyms that relate to each word. This practice makes it very difficult for programs or websites that check plagiarism to be able to identify copyright infringement in the contents that are published daily. Although the work that has been used by this form of plagiarism is generally of lesser quality than the original authors, since it does not portray the same amount of fluidness or the same idea whatsoever. It still falls within illegality since it takes an author's idea and just uses synonyms to copy it, but some of these plagiarizers think that it is a perfectly legal practice since it does not use the same words. This presents a problem for search engines as people who plagiarize from different authors take credit for the same concepts that they created. Synonymized plagiarism is not a very effective way of copying work, since it does not convey the original idea or thought properly, and compared to other software such as text generation, it does not look very original at all. It can look as though a person learning English as a second language has written it. This is mostly done so the website copying the work can have high ranking with the different search engines.
To know how to go from active voice to passive voice, we first have to understand each of the terms. Passive voice is used when we focus on the action. However, it is not important who's performing the action. On the other hand, in active voice, it is important to know the subject that performs the action, denoted by the verb. For example, in active voice, you would say, Marilyn mailed the letter. In passive voice, you would say, the letter was mailed by Marilyn. Here, Marilyn is not the most important part in the sentence. The verb in both phrases would be mailed, but in the passive voice, you use the verb plus the verb to be as an auxiliary. Another good example would be, the kids counted the ballots. That would be in active voice. To passive voice, you would say, the ballots have been counted by the boys. When we talk about plagiarism, we're talking about something seen in the literature world as a thief. When you copy somebody's idea and you don't give credit for it, you're stealing that idea from that person. Nowadays, it is a very important issue in the editorials. And committing plagiarism is even penalized by authorities. There are many things that are considered plagiarism, but one of the most important is failing to put quotations. It is important to quote, and it is important to give the source of information whenever the work we are presenting is not of our own. Plagiarism is not only written. Plagiarism is music, images, videos, and anything that is being copyrighted, like songs. It is easy to avoid plagiarism. We just have to be very careful. There are some ways in which we can citate. For example, apostyle is a very easy way, and it's installed in every computer. Word has it, Excel has it. All the computers have a way to quote or citate. It is even on the internet, so there's no excuse to commit plagiarism.